If you repeat this one daily system long enough, staying poor becomes mathematically impossible. That sounds like a bold claim, perhaps even an arrogant one, but by the end of this video, you will understand the cold, hard logic behind it. We see people everywhere who work themselves to the bone. They wake up early, stay late, and sacrifice their weekends, yet their bank accounts never seem to reflect that effort. They're stuck in a cycle of survival, wondering why the harder they work, the further the finish line moves away. The truth is, wealth isn't a reward for hard work. It isn't a result of luck, and it isn't reserved for those born with a silver spoon. Wealth is the byproduct of a repeatable daily system that most people simply don't know or choose to ignore. Most people fail because they focus on the wrong variables, and quite frankly, most people ignore step number 3 of this process, which is exactly why they stay stuck in the same financial position year after year. Today, I am breaking down the exact step-by-step daily routine that anyone can start immediately to guarantee their financial trajectory changes forever. The fundamental problem most people don't realize is that they believe wealth comes from big, singular events. They're waiting for that one massive opportunity, the perfect timing, or a huge windfall of starting capital to finally get ahead. But reality works differently. Wealth comes from small, seemingly insignificant daily actions compounded over years. Think about it. Most people repeat the same financial day for decades. They wake up, trade 8 hours for a fixed amount of money, spend most of it on liabilities, and repeat. If you look at day 1 and compare it to day 5,000, their routine is identical. If your inputs never change, your outputs never will either. You are trapped in a financial loop. However, if you change just one part of your day, everything compounds differently. The difference between a life of struggle and a life of financial freedom is found in the delta, the small change in your daily trajectory that, over time, creates a massive gap between where you are and where you could be. This brings us to the simple rule that makes poverty impossible. To ensure you never stay poor, every single day must include at least one action that increases your future income potential. This is a non-negotiable law. Most people spend their day serving their current income, doing the work required to get today's paycheck. That is necessary for survival, but it does nothing for your future. To break the cycle, you must dedicate a portion of your day to things like learning a new skill, building a business system, investing money, creating content, or networking with people who are ahead of you. If your income potential improves every single day, it is a mathematical certainty that your actual income will eventually follow. You are essentially building a magnet that pulls wealth toward you. Now let's break down the exact daily system to make this a reality, starting with the foundation of your personal value. Step 1 is to increase your value every single day. In the modern economy, your income is directly tied to the level of value you bring to the marketplace. If you are doing a job that anyone can be trained to do in 3 days, you will always be paid a low wage. To escape poverty, you must develop high-income skills that compound over time. Think about skills like sales, copywriting, coding, video editing, or mastering AI tools. These aren't just tasks, they're multipliers. The daily rule is simple. Spend at least 60 minutes per day upgrading a specific marketable skill. Imagine if you spent an hour every morning studying the psychology of sales or learning how to automate workflows with AI. In a year, you would have 365 hours of specialized knowledge that your peers don't have. In 3 years, you become an expert. Ask yourself right now, what skill could double your income in the next 3 years? If you don't have an answer, your first job is to find one and start the 60-minute clock today. Wealth creation starts with the person in the mirror becoming more valuable. Step 2 is to build something that works while you sleep. This is where we move from active income to leverage. Active income is trading your time for money. It is the most dangerous way to live because if you stop working, the money stops flowing. Leverage income, on the other hand, comes from systems that keep producing regardless of your physical presence. This could be a YouTube channel, a digital product, an automated online business, or a portfolio of dividend-paying investments. Your daily habit should be to spend 30 to 90 minutes building these assets. Think of it like planting seeds. On day 1, nothing happens. On day 30, you might see a tiny sprout, but after a few years of daily planting, you have an entire orchard that feeds you without you having to dig in the dirt every day. Most people spend their lives digging for one meal at a time. You need to spend your time building a system that provides meals for a lifetime. This transition from labor-intensive work to asset-based wealth is the hallmark of financial freedom. Now we come to step 3, the one most people ignore. Eliminate the invisible money leak. Most people don't actually have an income problem. They have a spending autopilot problem. system. As soon as they make a little more money, they immediately increase their lifestyle. They buy the better car, subscribe to more streaming services, and succumb to impulse spending. This is lifestyle inflation, and it is the silent killer of wealth. The daily rule here is to track your money for just 2 minutes every day. You need to see exactly where every dollar is going. When you track your spending, you move from a state of ignorance to a state of awareness. Awareness changes behavior naturally. You start to see that the 5 small subscriptions you don't use are actually costing you thousands of dollars in potential investments over a decade. By plugging these leaks, you ensure that the extra value you're creating actually stays in your pocket rather than flowing into someone else's. Step 4. Use the 1% rule. This is about compounding mindset power. Your life need not change suddenly. Trying to do so usually causes burnout and failure. Instead, aim for 1% daily improvement. This applies to everything: learning 1% more about your sector, saving 1% more, or improving business operations 1%. It may seem trivial, but the math is astonishing. Getting 1% better every day for a year makes you 37 times better. Small adjustments have huge long-term effects. You can create an unbridgeable gap between yourself and your competition by optimizing your morning habits by a fraction. Years of 1% gains that hit a tipping point create overnight successes. Step 5 ties everything together with daily repetition. Wealth is built by consistent effort, not short bursts. Few can commit to a 1,000-day strategy, but everyone can work hard on weekends. Repeat daily. Learn, build, track, improve. When tired, do this. Unmotivated, you do this. Do this for delayed results. System, not result, is aim. Occasionally miss a day. Fear not, but don't halt the system. Make routines like brushing your teeth to win. Money is coming, but not yet. Most won't think this monotonous system works. Our world promotes get rich quick and magic pills. Development is gradual and hidden, so people stop. You could generate wealth and assets for 6 months without a bank account change. The Valley of Disappointment. There, 99% quit. They think the system is flawed, but compound interest will erupt. Rich and poor habits differ over time. Bad habits desire rapid gratification. Over time, rich behaviors accumulate. The first year's boredom survivors will treasure the next 50 years' freedom. Think about yourself in the future. Try to see yourself adhering to this approach 1 year from now. The same 365 hours of outstanding performance. 365 hours were added to the productive assets that you have. The flow of finances is clean and there is no leakage. You believe that the balance in their bank account is the same. Consider this for a period of 3 years. Imagine 10 years from now. Does the individual continue to exist? Obviously, that is not the case. It would be impossible to recognize you. You may have pursued financial gain rather than engaging in conflict. Building it is not just about the money. It is also about who you become. Choosing to live in poverty or prosperity is a daily decision. Get the plan ready. The most important factors are value, leverage, tracking money, and making 1% daily improvements. Math is a reliable tool. A higher sense of self-worth and service to the world will increase your wealth. A law that is crucial to cosmology. When it becomes tedious, the only question that remains is whether or not you are able to begin and continue. Which of these steps should you begin today? Why not acquire that ability or construct that asset? Be sure to mention the current step. You are only separated from your dream by your lack of consistency. Allow mathematics to take care of it right away.